What's going on, everybody? Cabana Greg here. In today's video, we're going to be going through all 101 platinum trophies. So I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time now. I didn't really get around to making this video until later, but it just so happens now that I have 101 platinums. But yeah, I'm going to be going through all 101 today. Probably have to break this up into two parts, but it remains to be seen. So let's just hop into it right away, and we'll start off with this first title. Actually, it's Persona 4 Dancing. I believe it's All Night. Honestly, I get all the Persona Dancing names wrong because they're slight variations of one another. But anyway, so this is actually the Japanese import version of the game, as you can see from the non-English text being displayed on the screen here. But yeah, I've actually never played Persona 4 as of yet. I have it on the Vita, just haven't gotten around to playing it. And you know, for the time being, I really just wanted to get some exposure to the music of Persona 4 specifically. And yeah, it was a fun time. I honestly really like the Persona games, music, and the non-music games, so just happy to have that one in the collection. Which brings me next to Persona 5 Royal. And actually, this is the first Persona game that I ever played. A lot of my friends are recommending this one and just saying, you know, if you have to start with one, start with 5 Royal. That doesn't mean it's the best, but that was the one that they recommended that I start with first. I loved it. I thought it was an awesome game. I ended up playing it over the course of a few months just because of work and life stuff, so it felt like a true epic RPG, and I came to really know the characters and really grow attached to them, and honestly it was a really fun time, and I'm really happy to have this one in the collection as well, and I'm hoping to get around to Persona 4 at some point. And then I also think they're gonna start porting those games over to other consoles, so looking forward to that as well. Yep, and as you can see, I have Persona 4 Golden, but just haven't played any of it yet, and hopefully that'll change very soon. Alright, more Persona stuff. This is Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight. Again, really big fan of this series, specifically the music games too are awesome. I actually played this game first before having played Persona 5. Don't ask me why, but I just kind of wanted to play a rhythm game at the time, and I knew I was going to play Persona 5, you know, around the time of me starting this game, so I just figured, why not just play the entirety of it. And honestly, I got a lot more out of Persona 5 Royal playing this first, which I know is weird to say, but yeah, just another Persona 5 or Persona rhythm game more specifically. Lego Harry Potter, you can see the 1% there. We'll be getting around to that shortly. The next one is actually something that I'm really proud of. It took me a long time and a lot of frustration and annoyances aside. I'm very happy to have this one in the collection. This is the Overwatch Origin Edition Platinum Trophy. This was a pain in my butt. This was probably one of the hardest ones I've ever had to do, just because some of the trophies are a little bogus. And I actually made a video about this a couple of years ago, but my opinions still reign true. I think that some of these are complete BS. There's one in particular that I think is near the bottom here. Let me just go ahead and make my way through the list here. This one was kind of a pain in the butt, but you know what? It is what it is. So this is basically getting 3 killing blows while wall riding with Lucio, and I just got really lucky. I got really lucky. A lot of the people were kind of asleep while playing this game. I don't know what they were doing. But, you know, I got really lucky with getting that trophy specifically, and then the rest was just kind of a lot of grinding, and again, just getting super lucky. Rapid Discord is also another one that I think I got lucky because of a bug, I want to say, because I ran my timer after having gotten this and was like, the timing seems off, so I think there was some sort of bug there, but I ended up getting that trophy, so I'm not complaining. Yeah, but I mean, this is one of the harder ones I've ever gotten, and I played a lot of this game when it came out, so you know, I'm pretty happy that I finally have a platinum trophy for this game. But yeah, I won't be coming back to this anytime soon, that's for sure. Next is a favorite in the platinum trophy community, which is My Name is Mayo. I've already talked about this game before. This is specifically for the PlayStation Vita. So yeah, just a lot of touching the Mayo over and over and over again. I think it only took me maybe like a couple hours just because I had to put the thing down because my thumbs were sore. But yeah, super easy. We'll never play it again. There you go. Scrolling down here, we can see the next one here is Sackboy: A Big Adventure. So Sackboy: A Big Adventure, I was a little nervous about. I really like the traditional Little Big Planet games, you know, where you play, create, and share, that sort of mantra. But I was pleasantly surprised with this one because it's actually a really good 3D platformer. Like, people are saying, oh, it's like a 3D Mario clone, but honestly, like, there's a lot of charm and a lot of fun to be had with this game, and the time trials are really challenging and rewarding, so I think it's a lot of fun. I really do think it's a good time, and if you have a PlayStation 5 and you're looking for a good platforming game or a good, you know, co-op game, I think this is definitely one to add to your collection. Yeah, this trophy isn't that hard. This platinum trophy isn't that hard. The only thing that might pose a little difficult for some are the knitted night challenges. But honestly, like, the more you play those challenges and the more you get accustomed to the timing of certain jumps, I think it's an easy platinum if you know, can pick up on that stuff and if you're decent at platformers. All right, coming down to a really good indie game is a Spiritfarer. You know, when I first saw this trailer for the game, I, you know, was super excited for it. It looked like Animal Crossing and a crossbreed of other sort of sim-like games. And to my surprise, there was a lot of depth and complexity to this game, and the writing and the art in particular were some of my favorites of last year when I played it. And this is a good time. I think if you just kind of want to have something to play and chill out to, you know, Spiritfarer will definitely fit the bill. And yeah, it's a good time, and also a very easy platinum if you are looking for one. All right, next we go to Spider-Man Miles Morales. This was the first game I think I played when I got my PlayStation 5, and it's a good one. It's a really good one. It's only, you know, about 4 to 6 hours, I think, total, and you basically have to play this game twice to get the Platinum Trophy, and honestly, you can beat the story in less than 4 hours, I think. I think on my second playthrough, it only took me about something like 3 or 4 hours, so it's really not a hard Platinum Trophy, and it definitely doesn't require as much time, as much of a time sink as the regular Spider-Man game. But yeah, if you're looking for something short and sweet and really well made and polished, and also, you know, just so happens to be an easy platinum trophy, I think Miles Morales is the game for you. Okay, I know some people really dislike this game, but this is Death Stranding, and honestly, this game's great. I really like this one. I didn't, you know, when I first played this game, I went all the way through to the end, beat the story, you know, all that good stuff. And I took off a decent amount of time, you know, after beating this game. And I think one day I just randomly started playing it again. And I kind of got sucked back into it and was thinking to myself, like, oh, I could, you know, maybe I can get a platinum for this. And I think it took me about 60 to 80 hours, somewhere in that range. I have to go look at my logs or something. But it's really not that hard of a platinum. It is one of those things, though, if you do not like the core gameplay loop, you're going to think this is like the most agonizing thing of all time. But, you know, for me, I really enjoyed the core gameplay. The story, as wacky and nonsensical at times as it could be, I think that there's a lot to appreciate. I think the game's really well made. The cutscene cinematics are super well directed, and obviously the acting is amazing. So yeah, Death Stranding, it's an easy platinum. You just have to really like the type of game that it is. And if you do, great. You'll have a fun time playing the game, and it'll also, you know, be an easy platinum for you. Okay, next we have Subnautica. This game I don't like. Truthfully, the only way I ended up getting this platinum was through an exploit. I think you can still do it. There are videos online, I believe, where you can basically activate the developer menu for this game and turn on a bunch of like cheats, basically, like being able to teleport to certain regions before you have access to them, unlocking certain doors when you know, stuff like that. So all in all, this platinum only took me about maybe half an hour, I think. And yeah, I will never play this game again. Sorry, it's not my kind of game. And I'm really glad for those exploits. That's all I can say. Next is Clockwork Tales of Glass and Ink. I think this is also another super popular game to platinum because it's incredibly easy to do so with. But yeah, I ended up getting this platinum because I think I had like a free trial to PS Plus, PlayStation Plus. I saw this as one of the easier games to platinum, and I only had about 4 days left of my subscription, so I said, what the heck, might as well try it out. And honestly, it was pretty fun. It was a good point-and-click adventure game, and it just so happened to be a super easy platinum trophy. All right, next on the list, we have Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. So this is, again, another game that I played on PlayStation Plus. only had a couple days left before my subscription was over, and I had never played this game before, and also just saw that it was an easy platinum trophy to collect, and it definitely is, especially if you're following a guide. I think you can get this trophy, this platinum trophy, in a couple hours or so. I ended up playing the game twice, once just to play the game for the experience, and then second time I followed a guide to find the rest of the collectibles. But yeah, this is a super easy trophy again. And if you like more narrative-driven stories with a little bit of intrigue and mystery thrown in there, I think this is a good one to try out. So we're looking at Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory is the next one. And honestly, this might be apparent, I guess, based on some of the more recent games that I've shown off, but I like rhythm games quite a bit. I think that they're, pretty relaxing, and I can have a fun time with them. Kind of just turn my brain off and listen to some good music. And that was definitely the case with this one. I really love the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and I think it has some really awesome, tracks, some great themes. So this was just like a blast for me to play through, honestly. It was super grindy, though, to be honest. If you are thinking about maybe picking this game up and trying for the platinum, be warned, it is very grindy. I think one of the core requirements is actually that you have to play each song in the game on 3 different difficulties. So you have to play it on easy, normal, and hard. And I think there's about I can't remember. I think there's over 100 songs, something like that. So basically you're playing a given song 3 times over. 100 tracks total, so you're playing a lot of the same stuff over and over and over again. But if you don't mind that, and if you really like the music, then I don't think you're going to have an issue with this. Personally, I don't like when games are forcing you to play songs on easy. Look, 50 songs on beginner, 50 on standard, 50 on proud. Just make up your mind. Why do I have to do 50 songs on beginner? Anyway, other than that, it's pretty easy. It's pretty fun. Next is this is a great game. This is Telling Lies. I played this with my partner, and honestly, I would recommend anybody who is interested in this game to play it with somebody else, either brother, sister, a close friend, whoever it might be. I think you get more out of this game playing with somebody else, and more specifically, having each person have a specific role that they want to play. So when I was playing with my partner, I was the one looking up all of the video clips and kind of scrubbing through them to find interesting keywords, and then my partner would write down the keywords, and we'd have a collection of words and phrases that we would then look up together. So it was a lot of fun. I think, again, if you're going to play this one, play with somebody else or play with another person, because you'll get a lot out of the mystery and the intrigue. So yeah, that's Telling Lies. All right, moving down to Donut County. I almost said country. Again, I think this is a super common platinum trophy, in the trophy community at least. But it's a good game. It's a really fun time, and the core gameplay mechanics are fun and cute and quirky, and yeah, I really like this one. So if you haven't tried it out, it's super easy to get the platinum for, and it's also a lot of fun. Alrighty, so next one here on the list is Undertale. Let me know if you guys have heard of this game or not, but yeah. Basically, yeah, this is again a super easy platinum trophy to get. I originally played this back on the PC, but wanted to, play it again on my PlayStation, and again, just so happens that it's a very easy platinum. Literally, all of these trophies you're seeing right now are just by, donating money to a shrine. There's just so many, so many easy throwaway trophies. But if you've never played Undertale, it's a really fun time, and the platinum trophy is also pretty easy too. So definitely recommend it. Alrighty, so next here on the list is a game that I actually really liked, and I feel like at the time, it kind of got destroyed by a lot of people, critics and some people of the community. It's Days Gone. Now, I'm also going to say, when I first played this game, I wasn't in love with it. I actually stopped playing maybe about 10 hours into it, and I don't know what brought me back to the game, but there was something about it. I think this might have been back when I thought Days Gone 2 was going to be a thing, as I'm sure most people thought Days Gone 2 was going to be a thing. But yeah, so I think back when when Sony Bend was going to basically start working on Days Gone 2 before it was rejected, I was like, I'll try the game out again and see what happens. I'm sure that they've patched a lot of things and fixed a lot of bugs, and it's been over a year. Might as well try it out. And yeah, I think after all of the fixes and all the changes that they ended up making, this game it's a lot of fun. The story for me was pretty good. It's not like the most game-breaking cinematic tale of all time, but it's a fun little distraction, I think. And there's some really interesting, cool characters. And yeah, the overall gameplay I thought was pretty good, and the graphics probably are some of the best that I've seen in like in most games. So yeah, I think if you've been thinking about trying out Days Gone, or maybe you're like me and you kind of stop playing a couple hours in and thinking about getting back into it, I say go for it. I think that there's a lot here that's pretty good. They added a survival mode, actually, that I only played a little bit of. You know, it's not my cup of tea, but it's like horde mode, basically. So if you like that kind of thing, you'll have a good time with it. And yeah, I think that there's a lot here now that the dev team have added to make it, you know, worth giving another shot if you haven't already done so. Next on the list here is Concrete Genie. This was a PlayStation Plus free game, I think, for some, like maybe the month of February, because I see a lot of the timestamps are 2/9, 2/12. So maybe it was a free game in February or something. Let's just go with that. But yeah, I mean, this was surprisingly really good too. I had a fun time with it. I think that it's, you know, it's not like groundbreaking at all, but it is definitely an impressive technical game. I think when you really think about, you know, the core mechanics of the gameplay and being able to paint in all these genies of your own, you know, it's pretty impressive technically, I think. And, you know, coupling that with the location of the game, the soundtrack, things like that, it's a really good time. If you haven't tried out Concrete Genie, it's a great game. And it also happens to be a very easy platinum. I think it's literally just beating the game and getting all of the collectibles. So nothing too crazy there. Okay, next on the list is Detroit Become Human. Now, you know, I bought this game when it first came out, and I really liked it. I thought it was one of Quantic Dream's better games. You know, I still like Beyond Two Souls, but I mean, it is definitely not a perfect game. The narrative, I do appreciate. I'll probably talk about this later, but it's good. It's still good. But what I mean to say is that I think Detroit Become Human is even better. I think it's probably my favorite Quantic Dream game in terms of the gameplay variety, the characters, and the writing. I think that they've probably hit their stride here with how they should and maybe continue to do these games in the future. But yeah, I mean, I played this game a while back and never had the chance to platinum it until just, you know, again, I felt like revisiting this game and playing through it again and realized I only needed 2 trophies to actually finish the platinum. So that was my motivation for actually getting the platinum. But yeah, I mean, this is one of those games, super easy to get the platinum for. You just kind of have to play the story multiple times, or at least multiple chapters in different ways to get sort of different outcomes. And then that will affect, you know, who dies, who lives, which characters go to the end chapter, who doesn't, stuff like that. But again, very easy platinum. All right, scrolling down again, we have Ether1. I think it's, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this game's not good. I'll be honest with you guys. This was I think a free game with PlayStation Plus, and this was quite a slog for me to finish. I had to consult a guide, and I will never play this game again, and I'm sorry if you like this game. That's great. I don't like it. But it's a very easy platinum, so if you just follow a guide, you can probably get this in a couple hours. All right, so next on the list here is Lost Legacy, Uncharted Lost Legacy. And honestly, this might be an unpopular or like a hot take, but I think Lost Legacy is probably better than Uncharted 1 and parts of 3, Uncharted 3. Like, I think Lost Legacy is actually one of the stronger Uncharted titles. I don't think it's, you know, better than 2 or 4 by any means. But I do think it's better than, you know, 1 and almost 3, maybe 3. I'd have to play 3 again, to be honest with you guys. But this is a fun game. I think now it's on PC, I want to say, or it's about to be released on PC, depending on whenever this video gets released. So if you haven't played any Uncharted games, maybe try the first couple if you have access, you know, or the ability to do so. But even if you just end up playing 4 and Lost Legacy, they're both really great games. And specifically, I think Lost Legacy is a really fun time. I really enjoyed playing as Chloe. I think as a character, that was a really fun little thing. Yeah, there's just enough variety here. The villain's pretty good, not the best, but I think there's a lot to love about Lost Legacy, and it's also very easy platinum. So yeah, give it a shot if you haven't tried it out. Okay, next is Oxenfree. So Oxenfree is really cool. I did a video about this game quite a while ago, but I believe these were former Telltale Games people who made their own studio, and this was the first game that they ended up making. The second game was After Party, I think is what it's called. I never finished that game. I really liked the writing, and the art style was awesome, but just never got around to finishing it. But Oxenfree is one of those games. It's always on sale for like $2, like super cheap, and it's definitely one of the more enjoyable and just fun narrative-based games. So if you have any interest in that, if you have any interest in Telltale games, support them and check this one out. It's a fun time, and it's also a very easy platinum. Okay, next is Last of Us Part 2. This is way easier to platinum than the first Last of Us, because the first Last of Us forced you to play multiplayer, and after going for that stupid Overwatch platinum trophy, I never want to do a multiplayer specific anything ever, specifically for platinum trophies though. But honestly, yeah, this platinum trophy isn't that hard to get. I think it's mainly just playing the game, finding a few collectibles, and I want to say there's like a new game plus. I can't remember. I don't think there is. I think it's mainly just playing the game and upgrading everything. Yeah, and then getting all the little miscellaneous collectibles. Yeah, say what you will about Last of Us Part 2, but I actually think it's great. It's I don't know, it hit me differently. Some of the story events were obviously unforgettable. A lot of the twists, I guess you could call them, it did a lot, I think, that most games would shy away from doing. And I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a very well-made, competent, like just very, like it knows what it wants to be, and it's not afraid to kind of take some risks, I think, if it means upsetting people. So yeah, Last of Us Part 2, definitely check it out. And especially if you played the first game and maybe you haven't gotten around to the second one, it's a very easy platinum. Okay, next is Tearaway Unfolded. I think that the Vita version of this game is the definitive way to play the game. And yeah, I had some fun playing this for sure on the PlayStation 4. But if you really want to play this game the right way, the best way possible is playing it on the Vita, which I know isn't possible for a lot of people, but that's just kind of my opinion on that one. Next is Late Shift. This is I forget the acronym that people use for these types of games, but basically it's a narrative driven game. You make some choices, it affects the outcome of the story. This was actually something that was shot on location with like a camera and live actors, so slight variation to the type of narrative based game that we're dealing with normally. And I thought it was pretty good. I think it was a good, easy, fun platinum. All right, scrolling our way down here because there's quite a gap here. We have Astro's Playroom. So Astro's Playroom, it's one of those games that you can just kind of, I believe every PlayStation 5 has this game, and it kind of just tests out all the different features of the DualShock, the triggers, the rumble features, haptic feedback, stuff like that. And it also just happens to be an incredibly easy, delightful little game. So yeah, if you have a PlayStation 5, I would totally recommend trying out Astro's Playroom. You'll have a great time with it, and it's also a very, very easy platinum. Oh boy, there's so many single digit. Like look at all these. Oh, so upsetting. All right, but we found one. Walking Dead: A New Frontier. Where do I start with this one? This one's, I liked it when I first played it, but honestly, when I revisited the game, I think it's pretty bad. Like narratively, characters are okay. Some of the callbacks are really nice. I think the last chapter has a lot of those that work for me personally, but when it comes to the first maybe 2 or 3 chapters of this one, it's by far the weakest for me. I still think, chapters 2, the first chapter of The Walking Dead are really strong, and I think even the very last final chapter is great. But A New Frontier, I think, was right around the time where a lot of the people working at Telltale kind of shifted around, a lot of the game directors kind of changed, so a lot of moving around in terms of the dev team and the studio heads. And it shows. I think that this game has a lot of good elements to it, but then there's also a lot of just inconsistent and bad pieces to this one as well. I'm not saying anything about the development team or anything like that. I just think that there are definitely better Walking Dead games that were made by Telltale, but this just happens to be an easy platinum. Next, we have Horizon Zero Dawn. And yeah, I feel like many people have already kind of talked about this game. I also have talked about it on a couple of different videos. But this is, yeah, it's a great game. Fun time, fun open world. Aloy as a character is pretty awesome. Horizon Zero Dawn, very fun game and super easy platinum. Alrighty, let's get out of there. Scroll down through a 0% and a 1%. Yeah, you'll love to see that. And then we'll go to No Man's Sky. So No Man's Sky, I remember playing this game when it first came out. This is before all of the quality of life changes, the bug fixes, the patches that have honestly like made this game pretty cool. Like I think the studio has done a lot to draw people back in and, you know, make the gameplay engaging and stuff like that. But this you know, I played this when it first came out. I got the platinum trophy, I think within the first week of the game. I can't remember, probably not. But I remember getting the platinum trophy pretty shortly. Oh, actually no. 121, 20, that doesn't seem right at all. So I guess it took some time away from playing this game initially, but yeah, I got the platinum trophy before all those patches, before all those changes, and even then I kind of liked it. It wasn't perfect, and I think a lot of the promises made were definitely not met on launch of this game. But, you know, I had a fun time with it. I think some of the commerce and like bartering stuff was what really interested me, like, you know, farming for resources and then selling them in different galaxies for slightly higher price margins. I thought that was pretty fun. So that's kind of what kept me going. And yeah, I think it's a good time. So curious to see what people think of this game now, and then also just kind of seeing how easy or hard this platinum trophy is now with the current changes and updates that the game has. But yeah, that's No Man's Sky. Alrighty, so let's take a little scroll here and we'll go to Virginia. I've done a couple of videos about Virginia. Well, I guess just one more specifically I've done about this game. But yeah, this is a really fun narrative-based, I don't want to say a walking simulator, but it is a narrative-driven experience that I'll say if you like something like David Lynch's work, anything super surreal, stuff like that, you'll definitely like this game. It's very easy platinum. It's a very fun time. Even if you know, if you like sort of games that give you a here's what happened, like here's who killed who, or here's you know, anything that is kind of directly spoon-fed to you, then you probably won't like this game. But if you like a little mystery, a little uncertainty, I think Virginia is definitely the game for you. We're not going to look at this one again. Okay, we will. My Name is Mayo, Part 2. This is on PlayStation 4. Yeah, I already kind of mentioned that before. Next is Uncharted 4. So Uncharted 4, just like all the other Uncharted games that you'll probably see in this video, they're easy platinums. You just kind of have to beat the game and collect all of the collectibles. I think that's pretty much it. And aside from that, you'll have to beat the game on the hardest difficulty, which is the crushing difficulty. But yeah, aside from that, easy platinum. And I think over time, I've really come to like Uncharted 4. Not sure where it falls in my, like, you know, favorite game of the franchise, but it's definitely, it's better than what I thought of it initially when it first came out. Next is Hitman Go. So Hitman Go is just kind of one of those, I believe it's like a top-down sort of puzzle game, I guess is what you could call it. Maybe there's a better description for it, but that's kind of like how I always think of it. It's just like a top-down puzzle game, and I tried this one out. I think it was free or something. I'm sorry, I don't remember. But yeah, I just remember it was free, and I was able to get this platinum in like a day or two. It was very easy. If you're into puzzle games, if you're into Hitman, you know, give this one a shot. And yeah, that's about it for this one. Scrolling down. Fallout 4. So Fallout 4, honestly, I still think Fallout 4 is a pretty weak game. I don't know. You know, obviously, I think it's a very easy platinum. If you like the Fallout games, then yeah, you'll probably like this one. Well, you know what? Actually, that's a lie. That's a lie. I don't even know. Because the thing is, like, I like the Fallout games, and I still think this one's pretty mediocre. So I don't know. Some of the side characters are really cool, and I liked their story missions. But Fallout 4 was kind of a disappointment for me. But nevertheless, I sunk about 100 plus hours into this game and ended up getting the platinum trophy. The most annoying, let me see if I can find it, but the most annoying trophy for me personally was the settlement building. Oh, this is it. Benevolent Leader. Yeah, this was annoying. I didn't like any of the settlement building components of the game, so this was like a very tedious and boring trophy for me. All right, next is, so Drive Club's really funny because it says I have 25% completion, but if you look at all of the expansions, there's like 1,000. There's like so many expansions. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Oh, I went out of there. So yeah, Drive Club. I think Drive Club kind of got a lot of flack when it first came out, and I'm really sad that Evolution Studios closed down because the MotorStorm series was a lot of fun, and I think Drive Club was good too. You know, I think Drive Club suffered from not knowing what it wanted to be. Like, it would mix simulation driving components with like arcade driving components, and like the two didn't really mesh super well. So like, it wasn't a sim, but it wasn't an arcade game. Like, it was weird. Anyway. So, like, I do think people kind of hated this game in an unfair way. I didn't hate it quite as much. I do think it's, like, it has a lot of issues, but the studio did patch and update the game pretty consistently, as you can tell from the 50,000 expansions they have. Yeah, I think it's good. I'm not sure this is attainable anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I'm pretty sure, you know, you have to play online for this game, and maybe the servers are still live. I have no idea. So I don't know. But yeah, this was at the time an easy platinum. So I'm not sure if it is attainable anymore because of the servers. But again, let me know if they're still live and people are playing. I'm not too sure, to be honest. Alrighty, so we have Gravity Rush Remastered. As I kind of mentioned before, you know, I played Gravity Rush on the Vita. And I think, again, if you're looking for like the definitive way to play this game, I still think it's on the Vita. Some of the touch control mechanics are a little gimmicky, but some of the other ones I actually quite like. So I don't know, you wouldn't be missing anything if you played the remastered version. And I think for most people, that's the one that they prefer to play. But in terms of like the game itself, it's very easy to get the platinum for. It's a fun, interesting story that plays out like a comic book at times, or like a really good anime. Personally, I think if you haven't played any of the Gravity Rush games, start with the remastered one on the PlayStation 4, especially if you don't have a Vita, and then see where it goes, and maybe you'll get Gravity Rush 2. Who knows? Yeah, if you're looking for an easy platinum trophy, this game is definitely that. You know, it's an easy platinum trophy, and it's also a lot of fun. And I think that the core gameplay is really cool and different, so that's Gravity Rush. Next is Ratchet & Clank on the PlayStation 4. I've also done a video on this one as well. Not much more can really be said other than, you know, it's great. It's a really, really, really solid game, and it just so happens, again, that the Platinum Trophy is super easy to get. If you haven't played this particular Ratchet & Clank, you're missing out. I think that this is a really good one. Unfortunately, I haven't played the latest. I forget. I think it's like, I can't remember the new Ratchet & Clank game for whatever reason, just not coming to me. But I'm hoping to play that one at some point. But yeah, this one's also very good. Scrolling down to Rocket League. I think I got this in college when I was playing with my floor mates, because they're like way better at this game than I am. But this is a lot of fun. I feel like most people know what this game is. It's basically, soccer with cars, which, I mean, come on, it's a pretty cool pitch for a game. But yeah, again, I'm not very good at this game. I played with like a lot of my floor mates at the time who were good, and it was a lot of fun playing with them because they actually knew what they were doing. And yeah, if you haven't played this though, it's a very easy platinum, and it's also a lot of fun. So I'd highly recommend playing with friends. If you got some people you want to get together and play some co-op with or split screen with, play some Rocket League. Alrighty, let's get out of there. Scrolling down to Battlefield 4. Alright, so Battlefield 4, to be honest, I think this is when the series started to go downhill, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. What was the Battlefield game that really started the decline for DICE and this series? For me, I really like Bad Company 2, and I even thought Battlefield 3 was pretty good. There weren't that many issues at launch, but Battlefield 4 had so many issues. Like, there was a game-breaking bug that was a thing on the PlayStation 4 version. There was like a hard crash that for some people where it was like you couldn't prevent it at all. I think it was like the Shanghai mission, I want to say, something like that. This is not a very hard game to platinum, but for me, this was like the decline, or when the series started to go downhill. So there's that. And I'm not even sure, I would imagine you could still play this game online. I'm not sure if the servers are still live, but if they are, you know, you can still get the platinum for this, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, for me, this was okay. I'd take the former, you know, Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2 over this game any day. All right, Tales from the Borderlands is next. So I've actually never been a huge Borderlands fan. I actually think that the first Borderlands is just, you know, bad. And for whatever reason, I've never been super into Borderlands 2. I think that the writing is awesome and it's like a very funny game, but I never liked the moment-to-moment gameplay of these games for whatever reason. You know, but talking specifically about Tales from the Borderlands, I'm really sad we never got a season 2, because as someone who doesn't really like the Borderlands games at all, I really wanted a second season or next, you know, part 2 to this game, because it was that good. It was funny. The characters were really good. Some of the story beats were awesome. The little like romances was this game did a lot of cool things for me, and I think one of the most impressive pieces of Tales from the Borderlands is that it actually made me like the Borderlands universe, which I didn't think was possible. So yeah, if you've never played Tales from the Borderlands, totally check it out. It doesn't matter if you are a fan of the series or not, because I'm not, and I still thought it was a lot of fun. Alrighty, next is Until Dawn. I feel like I've played this game with like a bunch of different people a bunch of times. Like I remember I got a bunch of people from my dorm. We played this at like midnight, I think, and I think we played through almost all of the game in one sitting, where there was like me and maybe like 10 or 12 other people screaming like, do this, do that, do this, do that. So that made the game for me. But Until Dawn's a really fun like B horror movie, choose your own adventure type game. And I think it's probably the only good narrative-based horror game that's Supermassive. I think that's the studio's name. I think it's Supermassive. But that studio hasn't made like a decent sort of, you know, this type of game in a long time. So if you have any interest in these like choose your own adventure games, and also you like horror movies and, you know, sort of games that make fun or poke fun at some of the conventions and tropes of those genres, then Until Dawn's a lot of fun. And it's also a very easy platinum. Also, sorry for the spoilers. I realize that all of these have spoilers. So, yeah, just maybe avert your eyes. I don't know. Sorry. All right, scrolling down here. Journey, don't worry. I have played it on PlayStation 3, so 0%, do not worry. Sound shapes, I'm just going to skip sound shapes because you'll probably see this like 4 other times on my list, because you can basically get the platinum trophy on one version of the game and then sync your cloud saves to other versions to get all the trophies. But yeah, this is a really good game. I like the music, the core platforming is a lot of fun, and yeah, it's a good time. Nothing more really can be said. I think the hardest thing that this game has going for itself are the challenges, the death modes. But once you can kind of master those, then the platinum trophy is pretty easy. And again, you can sync your cloud saves to your PlayStation 3, your PlayStation Vita, and your PlayStation 4, assuming you have, you know, one or any, you know, of those other consoles I just mentioned. Alrighty, so let's go down a bit. Borderlands 2, 1%, very cool. Yeah, we'll go to Far Cry 4 now. So Far Cry 4, I feel like people more or less kind of can take this game or leave it. You know, it's like a take it or leave it sort of thing. Some people like it, some people hate it. I kind of fall like in the middle of those two camps. I don't really love this game, but I also don't think it's that bad. I do think it's a little annoying how they stunt your progression past a certain point of the game. Like, you couldn't go to the north region of the game until you hit like a certain story beat, or until you unlocked a certain side quest, which, you know, fit with the story. Like, it made sense as to why they would lock off your progression. I just, I don't know. I thought it was a little annoying for whatever reason at the time. I mean, I still think it's a little annoying too, but I think that the biggest thing with this one was just that it was fine. This was kind of when I started getting sick and tired of the Ubisoft open world type games, and honestly, like, this might be the last Ubisoft open world game I played. Like, I don't think I've played any of the new Assassin's Creeds. or the new Far Cry's especially. I have not played the new Far Cry's. I do not care for the series anymore. But yeah, I think this might have been the last like open world Ubisoft game that I ended up playing. All right, next is Bloodborne. Bloodborne is probably my favorite of the Souls type games. I just think that like the setting, the music, the art, everything about this game is pretty perfect for me. Like this is almost like one of my favorites of all time, maybe, or like at least in my top 10. But yeah, in terms of like my favorite Soulsborne games, you know, this is definitely my favorite one. And I do like the remaster, or the remake, excuse me, of the new Demon Souls. But this is still one of my favorites just because of like the atmosphere and the art and like just kind of everything. I can't remember. I wouldn't say this is like an easy platinum, but I feel like most people that end up playing this game do have a platinum for it. Like all of my buddies who love the Souls games have a platinum for this. I think if you own this game, you probably already have this, more or less. But it's definitely not easy. You know, you have to have a proficiency at these kinds of games, but I also don't think it's impossible. Like anybody can kind of teach themselves how to play, you know, these types of games. And I think Bloodborne is more accessible than something like Dark Souls, which I still think is the hardest. I think it's the hardest Soulsborne game, but in terms of like what's the hardest maybe From Software game, I think it's Sekiro. Big time. Sekiro is definitely like the hardest one for me. Anyway, Bloodborne's good. All right, next is the Order 1886. Again, this is a game that people kind of hated when it came out. And honestly, I didn't love it when it first came out either. I remember this game launched and my buddies and I ordered a pizza, specifically a Domino's pizza. Yes, you can say what you want. But we ordered a pizza when it came out. And I think it only took me about 4 hours to beat. When it was over, my buddies were like, is that it? And I was like, I think so. So yeah, it's incomplete, or not incomplete, but it feels incomplete now, especially because we'll probably never get a part 2. Like I'm still holding out hope that Sony does something with this IP, but realistically, we'll probably never get a part 2. Just saying. So I don't know. This game is kind of like, it exists. But if you want an easy platinum trophy, this is the game for you. This is a very easy platinum trophy to get. It'll only take you, you know, maybe 5 to 6 hours to do this. And honestly, like I think for parts of the story and definitely the graphics and the soundtrack, like you'll have a good time. It looks incredible and the soundtrack's awesome. I think Jason Graves did it. So you'll have a good time with other pieces of this game. And if you're looking for an easy platinum trophy, this is definitely that. It is a very easy platinum trophy to get. All right, so I realize the timer on my camera is going to stop. So I think we're going to go ahead and break this up into another part. So stay tuned for the rest of my platinum trophy list, and I'll see you all on the next part, whatever number that ends up being.